to episode 3 of Art Tours. Now, episode 1 has done so well. Thank you so much. Episode 2 is about to come out in 5 hours for me. You've already seen it, obviously. So I don't know if that's done well. Hopefully it does. And if you haven't watched the past 2 episodes, make sure to go do that. Because in episode 2 we had a very shocking elimination. And spoiler warning, it was Faith. She is the first person to be eliminated. Which was very shocking. Now, that's really all I've got to say for this opening bit. So let's just move on to the next main challenge. So this episode's main challenge's theme is Black Lives Matter, because obviously the massive movement that has happened after the incident has just gone crazy, and obviously the art community jumped straight on, and if you use the hashtag BLM art, you'll see the amazing artwork by a bunch of different artists from all around the world promoting this amazing movement, and I wanted Art Wars to be a part of it. So they had to draw something to promote this movement and just make everyone aware. So they had to have the clear message, and then the design had to be perfect so you can tell what's going on. And then also, to make it even more difficult, as it's still an art show and competition, they could only use one colour. So they also have to show contrast still by using that one colour, so that will make it even harder. So now let's just move straight onto the slideshow of art and then judging. And you may be thinking, what's Rowan's advantage? Well, that will be coming after. Yes, after the drawings have been complete. So let's get to the drawings. Bye. It is time for the judging portion of today's episode, and we are lucky enough to have our first guest judge, because from now on in each episode there will be a brand new guest judge joining me and Lux. And this week's guest judge has 3,000 plus followers. Yes, 3,000. And this week's winner will get a shout out on their Instagram story. So this week's winner's account is Amar Doodles. It's this account here. They have 3,180 followers, and here's pictures of their art. They do doodles quite like Vex, if you know of him, and this camera's behind. So I'm about to call them, and the things we're looking for in today's episode is making the message of Black Lives Matter clear on what it is. So it's a very design based challenge, and also contrast, as they were only allowed to use one colour. So let's that's alive. Let's call them Jasper. So I like the message of Black Lives Matter doesn't actually, you can't see it.
I think he can improve his skills.
Like the colour as well, like obviously it was a one colour challenge, but I just don't think that, like, he picked
it is
brown.
the right color.
I personally don't like how he uses the same character for almost every single of his drawings.
True. He's used this character, he used it in the first elimination challenge and this one. The next one is by last week's winner, which is Whimsy Arts. Now I really like this one because he did use the one colour, and instead of using a black outline like lots of other artists, he still had a red outline, and then I like the pop of white around them, and then the message of Black Lives Matter is right there. You can see it straight away, and I think the design is very well done.
They put their signature kind of seems to be getting in the way of like the message.
I disagree. I like it there. Let's move on to Jamie Davis Arts, who did more of a grayscale than a one colour challenge. So the element of it being a one colour challenge isn't really there. The thing I don't like, she's put I Can't Breathe over the eyes, but it would make more sense to put it over the mouth.
Oh, you're right. Yes.
Why? I don't get why. That doesn't really make sense to me. So,
I think because he didn't want to draw eyes.
true. With Jamie's, like, the hair, it just seems a bit, like, empty, because there's just lots of the white background, and then the white background is also the white skin tone, which is also the top. So I think if you spent more time placing the different shades of colour, it could have came out better. They've all done it in the time, and they, like, right now it's 5 o'clock for me, and they had till 9, so they have another 4 hours, but they all were finished now, which is interesting. Now, another thing that we are moving on to Fantastical Doodles, who's been basically the runner-up in lots of episodes, and we've seen what someone can do with red, and then comparing the two, this just seems really simple, and like the message is there, but then the technique I don't think is there.
The background is like solid red. Maybe he could have added gradient, I don't know. Second thing is the color of their shirts. It is like toxic red. I don't know.
Like, it's bright neon, and I just don't think, like, with
these colors work together.
Yeah, because with Whimsy's, there was the texture of the background mixed in with, like, basically the same red hue on the top, but because of the texture's difference, it still looked good. So I think a lot more texture and technique could have been made this. And the message is there with the fists up, and obviously the Black Lives Matter written across it, but the technique is what brings this down. Navy Arts. So she's one of the 2 people, I think it is, who chose blue. Now, I love that there's the message of Black Lives Matter everywhere, and I think the drawing, the only thing I don't like is the neck's a bit weird, but basically everything else I love about it.
Well, there isn't really a point of, like, light where the shadows would be. I say this in every single episode.
You do. Like,
but, like, you can tell that they try to do shadows, but, like, it kind of feels like there isn't really, like, a point of light.
which is true, but I still think that they're not being the point of light, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think that's taken anything away from this drawing. Back. So let's move on to Lola's. Now, Lux, I'm just going to let you start, because I think I know exactly what you're going to say with this.
Okay, so I actually love the composition. I actually love this art piece. That's probably not what you guys were expecting.
Not at all. I thought...
like it.
I don't think
you
that...
can really tell that they put a lot of, like, effort into, like, the hand and into, like, the arm. Like, the wrist is kind of non-apparent, but, like, it's still there. Like, you can tell that they put, like, a lot of effort, and it just, like, brings, like, their art up to the next level. Because see, like, wrinkle mark. And also they did, like, the really great thing that they understand that palms are lighter than the outside of your hand.
Well, yeah, but I just, like, the thumb, it's, like, really weird and big, and then the way it's laid out, like, it's just, I don't, like, it just looks weird. The Jolly Jolly Glizzers, the blue one. So, now it's time to look at Jolly Jolly Glizzers. I'm never going to get that right. Now, with this one, like her others, it just isn't clean. I think the colour and the placement of the colours is good. The message of Black Lives Matter is, you can see it, but I just think the colours, like, placement isn't the best, and also the drawing just seems like a bit rushed.
Okay, So I'm gonna say that change your name. Search you. I will not. I can't just. Okay. And then I will say not to rush. I can say it is done with watercolors, I think.
Yeah, done with watercolor, 100%.
And I think it is non-watercolor paper.
Yeah, that's a theme. If you look in last episode's drawing on her, the whole paper was just wrinkled.
Yes, and that does not look good. So if you use watercolor, please use watercolor paper.
Yes, definitely. Because even though it's not necessarily your fault that you don't use that paper, using the paper will make your drawing look 10 times better. Now, who is the new contestant from last episode, and I think I love this one. The only thing I don't like, it is that like the contrast isn't necessarily there, because you've just got flat white and a flat black. So contrast is there, but in the most basic form physically possible. But then I love the way she's done the face. I don't know how she's done it at all, but like the way she's like done the lines and the scribbliness, but it still looks complete. To me, looks amazing. And then the Black Lives Matter's writing isn't just text; it's hand drew, like ink splattery down. So I think it does look really, really good.
Really like it personally. The letters are kind of weird. How it's kind of melting.
I think that makes sense, because like the face looks like it's done by like an ink pen, and then also this looking like ink dripping, I think works well.
No, I don't think so. I think the text is not that good for this drawing.
I disagree.
I don't really like it. I find it too simple.
But
I know that's kind of her style.
You said on one of the other challenges that the simple gave that person the advantage, and I think this does give...
No, I know. I understand that, but not to be rude, not to criticize people who have more simple styles, it just kind of looks more like sitting down an afternoon, just like take an hour, 2 hours of your time to do it because I have nothing else to do type drawing.
Ugh,
And really and also the writing, it's kind of confusing, like.
True, that's a bit, because she's done like the faint background thing, but then it's so faint you can barely notice it whatsoever.
I say either Panda or Lola, because I still love Lola's art piece.
Did you just say Panda? Oh my god, yeah. Ugh, I don't like Lola's. I would say between Panda and Whimsy.
Wait, where is Panda?
Panda is the one with like the green logo, and she was the one with the complete black.
Oh yeah.
The last one, yeah. I'm gonna put my vote.
The last episode's winner.
Yeah,
For me.
I think Whimsy should win again. I think out of them all, it looks the best, and all the elements combined are the perfect balance, and I think this is the winner. So, with 2 votes for Whimsy, outcasting Lux, which I'm very sorry, but I can't. I just don't think. Unless you can convince me, please try.
I can convince you to choose the winner, Whimsy.
No, I like Whimsy's.
Yeah?
It's really nice. So
So-
I'm not against
Okay.
they winning. Them
Thanks.
winning. Yeah.
So, Whimsy is the winner of this episode. So he will get another advantage in next episode, and after we finish this judging, his advantage for this episode will be revealed. But now it's the annoying and awful part. We have to pick someone for elimination. So, Who do you guys think should go up for elimination for having one of the worst drawings this week?
Julie.
I agree. Wait, hasn't she been in every elimination so far? I know she's been in one.
I don't know, it's my first time judging.
Have you not watched the other episodes? Rude.
Oh, sorry. I'm the time I'm doing conditions.
I think the person I would put up for elimination is Poppy, which is Fantastical Doodles.
Fantastical doodles. Okay, let's think.
So you guys think Jolly and I think Fantastical Doodles, is that right?
Yes.
Lux, who do you vote for?
Yes.
So by automatic vote,
Julie.
Jolly is up for elimination. So now it's time to see who Whimsy picks again for elimination. And last time he picked the two strongest artists and sent one of them home. So it'll be interesting to see if he does this time. So that's the end of the first judging portion. And then we will see who will be the next person eliminated from Art Wars. Goodbye. These are the judges. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
See you in a bit. This is really weird. The last clip you saw was filmed ages ago for me. Like, you have no idea how long ago it was filmed. It feels like months. For some odd reason, this week's been so slow. But no, yeah, it feels like forever ago that was filmed. And we had our winner, as you know, and we had the loser. And the winner was Rowan again, and well, obviously he has an advantage as he won episode dose. So his advantage is he would have got to pick someone for elimination even if he didn't win. So he got to pick 3 people for elimination, making it 4 people all together for elimination. And the elimination lot are Jolly, as you all know. Then he picked Jamie Davis Arts, one awkward artist, and Elephant Jasper. So everyone except from one awkward artist is being up for elimination again, if I remember right. So they all really should need to prove that they should stay in the competition. Multiple of them have been up before. And I just think some of them need to be harder and work better. Not better, just try so much more, because I know they have it in them. Because in the show, I've been told and know that we're very harsh. And that's because I need to make the episodes as short as I can. This one is obviously a lot shorter, so I have to cut out some things. And obviously I want to make sure the artists know the criticism, but then I'm not able to put in what we like about it unless they're the winner. So we do love all the art. We love them to bits. We love all the artists, even the ones eliminated. But it's a competition. Someone has to go home, and we're just trying to be the best. And we don't want to be too mean. Well, not mean. Criticism. That whole word. I can't speak. But all of your art are amazing. So if you feel slightly attacked, which I don't think you do, any of you, or anyone watching, but we do love everyone's art, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But now it's time to call Lux, and it's our time to pick someone to be going home in episode 3. We are filming. So I am here with Lux, the other judge, and we are now going to go through and pick the person that will be eliminated in today's episode. Now, what they had to do for today's episode, for the elimination, is draw my original character from my Instagram Pics series episode 3. If you haven't watched that, make sure to go do that. and then you'll get to see what they actually had to draw. Let's start judging, because I like having a rant. Let's start with one awkward artist.
To put shadows in some areas, but not in some.
And then I think this is one of the cleanest hand-drew drawings we've seen. Because lots of times where people have done traditional art so far, it hasn't been that clean. But I think this is pretty clean. We are going to move on to Elephant Jasper's. This is by far the best drawing he has done, but it's still not the best out of the competition. I love how the tentacles, he's added something to my character. He's made the tentacles hold things and spoons. He's put the TV there, which I don't really like.
I like it. I think it adds, like, emotions.
True. From the history of the past episodes, all put together, like, I just don't know.
The same character.
Pretty much. Jamie Davis Arts. This one, well,
I don't really like it. It says went for a gacha style. Gacha is a game where you get to create characters. So, I just feel like,
it's very rushed.
Jamie has brought us up, like, different styles, and I feel like, would be a stronger competitor with their style.
Yeah. Lastly, for elimination, because obviously there's twist, there's 4, is Jolly Jolly, which we picked. I think this is the best out of them all.
I actually really like this art piece. I think it's really nice.
So, who do you think shouldn't go home?
Elephant and awkward artist.
Compared to Elephant and Jolly, it just feels simple. Theirs have just got a bit more to it.
For sure, I don't want Elephant being sent home. Sorry, but I would put Jamie in the last spot.
So, I think Jamie will be leaving. So, Jamie Davis is the second person, well, first to be leaving officially, of Art Wars. So, Jamie, you have done some of the most amazing art on this show. But sadly, someone had to go home, and it was you. So, I'm very, 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 very sorry, and I love your art completely, but you should have just stuck to your original style. Thank you so much for watching the whole of episode 4 of Art Wars. Make sure to go check out everyone's Instagrams, especially Jamie Davis Art. Tell her art is amazing. Make sure to subscribe, like, to let me know if you want to see more of Art Wars. And a hint for next week is Team Challenge, so stay tuned. I'm James Fudge. Goodbye.